I was fascinated by this two-sided feature. Still manages to be very thin, paper-like, and has this incredible shine on it. This black metallic sheen on it and this beautiful earthy brown on the other side. My name is Kathrin von Rechenberg. I'm German, I'm coming from Munich, and I'm living in Beijing for over 20 years now. Yeah. I came to China in search of Xiangyunsha. This is a name which was invented then for marketing purposes in Shanghai 100 years ago. In Guangdong, of course, Guangdonghua, they use a different name for it. They called it the Shuliang. That's the name of the blend which is used for the dye. So you would say Liangsha for every fabric which is a gauze, but you would use the name Liangzhou for the fabric which is just a simple woven fabric. Sha means really very thin woven transparent fabric. This is sha, yeah. This is a gauze. It could not stick to the skin when you are sweating. Yeah, this is what was important about it. And so because the fabric is very thin, it would dry very fast. So even those who are working close to the river, which are always they're fishing or doing something, so they could, it's very convenient to wear this fabric. It was in 1995, while I was still studying in Paris. I met the Taiwanese fashion designer Sophie Hong. She introduced me to this fabric. On the first sight, I couldn't really imagine that this was silk. Yeah, it looked really for me more like a leather or something else, but not really like silk. Really, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so this was really intriguing for me, and I wanted to know more about it. And I first came directly to Beijing. I showed this fabric, and they were looking at the fabric like they have never seen such a thing before. Yeah, this was in 2000. Actually, then my now husband, he found out about the place where it is, and he went first in 2001, I think. It was the first time. Then the next time I went together with him and was really amazed by the dyeing process. I couldn't imagine how elaborate this was and how complicated and how time-consuming and how much it depends on the weather, on the nature. We did it in Beijing, on my silk sculptures, on the really huge work I'm doing. I'm using this feature of brushing the juice of the shuliang, of this root of this yam, which is used to dye the silk fabric in this rusty red, because it gives the stiffness to the fabric. When I came to China, there was not really an interest in traditional clothing or handcraft. This just started at that time that you could buy the big brands. There were just a few places in Beijing where you could get them. And now I can see that people are really interested in the old techniques and also old dyeing techniques. I know quite a few young people doing natural dye now and trying to find out how their ancestors have done it, and see that this is something which could help us to slow down and not to continue this crazy fast fashion thing. I see in general that there's a much bigger interest in the Chinese culture, in the people's own culture. Yeah, less imitating what the West is doing, but more going back to what the Chinese history and the beautiful craftsmanship and art which is done here.